Phototherapy or light therapy is a means or way to naturally heal ailments and eliminate pain. Low-level light therapy uses science-backed red, blue, and near-infrared light to phenomenally increase microcirculation to sites of injury and areas of chronic pain. Interestingly, this results in a rapid relief of discomfort, improvement in sensation, and regeneration of damaged tissues and nerves. Due to its immunomodulation, increased microcirculation, analgesic effects, triggering of nitric oxide release, accelerated natural healing processes, anti-inflammation and bioenergetic properties, phototherapy is used to treat many disease conditions as well as anti-aging following rejuvenated body tissues. That's our focus on this episode of Health Options. Thanks for joining us on the program. I am Rabi Abdullah. This is Health Options, the program that not only tracks government policies on health, but helps you with the right information you need to make informed choices about your health. We're taking a look at phototherapy, and right here in the studio with me to take us through the topic is a very familiar face on Health Options. Integrative medicine expert, Dr. John Tor Abide. It's always nice to have you join us on Health Options, Doctor.
The pleasure is always mine, Rabi. Thanks.
Okay. Start by telling us what phototherapy it's all about and its benefits in medical care.
Photo, you can see from the Greek words meaning light. Therapy means treatment. Yeah, so basically, right. Phototherapy is the use of light to treatment as well as ensure our well-being. Now, let me come to this. Light is actually life. Without light, there'll be no life. So this is to say that, okay, if we look at light is actually graded in terms of the wavelengths that it actually emits.
Yeah, because I was actually going to what sort of light are we talking about? We have light in the studio.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so
this light is actually graded by the wavelength that it emits. So that's why you have visible and invisible light. That is the light that you see with colors. You see blue light, you see red light, and you see yellow light. It depending on the wavelength. But to cut the story short, the one that operates under the short wavelength is highly penetrating. That one we do not see. And this is the one that is used in things like X-ray, MRIs, and so forth. Then you have the wavelength light in the range that it is visible. That's the one that we see. So you can see and say, this is blue light, this is red light. That one, the wavelength is actually between 600 to 80 nanometers, if this is how light is actually measured. And is the one in this range that is used for therapeutic basis. It is also
not the one for X-ray or MRI.
No. The one for MRI is the short one that I said. In terms of wavelength, the wavelength is just short and it is highly penetrating. That's why it has the potential of damaging, the underlying tissues.
Okay, is that
On
why we're
chronic
advised
basis.
not to do frequent X-ray?
Frequent exposure to, yes,
Okay.
because it is short and highly penetrating and it actually damages. Unlike the one in the middle range, which is red light, blue light, that is used for treatment. Then beyond this, there is the one that is so long. And this one too, it is not good. This is the one you find from microwaves and things like that, and it is also dangerous. By the way, phototherapy is known as is also known as heliotherapy. It is also known as photobiomodulation therapies.
You know what? Before we get to that, I'm interested in what you just said about the light, the one that is associated with the microwave. What about it? What makes it dangerous?
This is the microwave that you use because it is also made up of some noxious rays, the rays that penetrates and actually damage the DNA. There are three types of light. You have the short one, which I gave example with X rays and gamma rays, and then there is a medium one, which you have infrared. You have red, infrared. In the infrared, you have near and far infrared. Those are the ones that are deployed in medical treatment. And we've used this, they've used this for over centuries. Unfortunately, these days, when you bring some of these interventions that are not popular in conventional medicine, people don't know about. But they are really very, very important, especially the one that is used for therapeutic, purposes. We've already known the one for gamma rays and X-ray, which we use in radiological, tests, MRIs and those CT scans. But the one in the middle is the one that I would like us to focus our discussion, today.
Those are the therapeutic ones.
Therapeutic one.
Okay.
So looking at this, there is what we call bioactive light or sources of light. Bioactive in the sense that once the body is exposed to this source of light, it initiates some biochemical changes and metabolic changes that are beneficial to the body. So this is where you have the UV light, the ultraviolet light. This is the one that comes from the sun. And God, in His own infinite mercy, there is a layer, ozone layer, that protects us from this. If not, if it is also allowed to come directly onto us, we will be perished by today. So the ozone layer actually protects us over this UV light. Then the second one is blue light. Blue light also is good and also bad, in the sense that the blue light would typically interfere with what we call the circadian rhythm. This is our sleep, pattern. It affects, the melatonin. So blue light can be good and it can be bad, especially at night. We are not supposed to be exposed to blue light because it affects the circadian system rhythms. How? By interfering with the melatonin. We know that it is in the night that melatonin gets, secreted so that you have proper sleep. But blue light will now come and interfere with it. Melatonin will not be, secreted properly.
What are those sources of the blue light from our homes?
There are several, like these cameras that we use, so our phones,
handsets.
Our phones, and even the TVs, all of them are sources. And this is to say that I've given you the aspect of blue light that it is wrong. However, blue light is really good in the daytime because it does not interfere with the circadian rhythm. You are awake during that time.
You are not asleep.
Also,
you are supposed to get a good sleep at night.
So it has its own properties. It actually bioenergizes you, and that is leads to production of energy. So blue light should only be used during the daytime. And even if you look at even then, it must, like any other thing, it must be controlled. That's why you have some special glasses like blue light, protection, glasses that you should be using, that people use to actually protect them from excess exposure to blue light.
Of their eyes.
Yes, their eyes. Infrared, light. You have the short one, you have the long one, you have the medium one. These are the ones that are actually deployed in therapeutic, purposes. Then you also...
How are they deployed, if I may ask?
Okay. Well, they're deployed in various ways. And maybe because before we talk about deploying them, let's see, the benefits.
Okay.
Because the red light is, especially the infrared, is actually capable of penetrating the skin. So it is able to, activate the skin, especially the body, the powerhouse of the body, what we call the mitochondria, that is responsible for production of ATP, which is the energy currency. So the red light is able to stimulate that. And the red light has so many other benefits, including anti-inflammation. Inflammation is the hallmark of all diseases. So if you have something that can prevent and modulate excessive, inflammation, it is also very useful. Red light is also good for immune modulation, immune stimulation, just like you said in your introduction. So it has so many benefits that it is used in medicine today to ensure our health and our well-being. Some of the typical examples, like things like there is what you call there is a red light that you use. Even Undermed uses German
light. Technology.
Yes, yeah, a German technology. Then you have what they call etc. Light. It is something like a torchlight, but you see it emits red light, and it can heal wound very, very fast. How does it do this? It ensures a process known as phagocytosis. That is the mobilization of the white blood cells that rush and clears the debris in the wound, making the wound fresh. Red light is also very important in improving what you call microcirculation. What do I mean by microcirculation? Microcirculation is that process whereby the blood vessels are actually opened by one chemical that you mentioned there, that is the nitric oxide, actually dilates the blood vessels, and then the red light comes in and then boosts and stimulates the immune system. And with increased circulation, you have increased blood supply, you have increased nutritional supply carrying the blood, as well as oxygen supply. We talked about oxygen utilization. Once you have a process that increases and open up the flow of blood, oxygen circulation would improve, as well as oxygen utilization.
Okay.
Yes, that is the message. But just like I said earlier, some of these functional modalities that are actually non-conventional, you will not find them in a conventional setting. But all integrative medical centers, they have this, and then they encourage this. And if we look at it historically, these devices or means of treatment, phototherapy or heliotherapy, have been used over decades. For hundreds of years back, they've been using it. But in this part of the world, we're just trying to introduce some of these things. Most of our people that used to travel abroad, these are some of the treatment that they're actually exposed to, and they get well, but maybe they come back, they don't tell you. But I think time has actually overridden. Those things are being introduced into the country now. We have them in various integrative centers.
Curious about how government policies on healthcare are faring? Do you enjoy learning about wellness concept and the many options available? Then watch Health Options on the NTA.
Mr. President has led by example. Take the COVID-19 vaccine.
Somebody can say, hey, I woke up this morning, I felt some tingling in my hand, some weakness, my face was, I couldn't speak well. That's a warning stroke, and it shouldn't be ignored.
The carrots contains carotene. Tomatoes is a colored plant. It has carotene. Pepper has carotene.
50% of our diet should be green vegetables and fruits.
Join leading experts on both orthodox and alternative medicine for all the enlightenment you need for a healthier you.
Thanks for joining us on the program. I am Rabi Abdullah. Anyway, this is Health Options, and you know what this program stands for.
Yes.
We try to avail viewers the options available.
That's right.
It's a matter of choice.
That's
you
right.
explore whatever works for you, as long as it's been scientifically proven, isn't it?
Yes.
So let me take you back to the blue light now.
Yes.
The blue light, I'm interested in what obtains in our homes. You had said the lights from the TV, the lights from our handsets, and other maybe devices around us. So what advice will you be giving to viewers now to ensure that our sleeping pattern, where the secretion of melatonin, that's the hormone that aids sound sleep and, you know, detoxifies the brain while we sleep, gets to work and does not get into, it does not get interfered with, when we sleep. What should we do at home to ensure this?
Common sense dictates that, first of all, your your bedroom should not have blue light. Period. You shouldn't have that. And then you should...
And the blue lights in the bedroom normally include what now, so that we really know?
Oh, these fluorescents, some fluorescents are actually blue. That is, wrong. You shouldn't have them, especially when you are about to sleep. Because they interfere with your circadian,
If you have it, you switch it off.
Yeah, you switch off. You switch it off. Then your phone. Most people don't know they use their phone till they're going to bed.
So
I
don't know. But a lot of people, you could sleep off and we wake up somewhere in the middle of the night, you discover that you're even lying on top of your handset. I'm sure it has happened to a lot of people.
It does. But that's why you have to ensure, discipline. Your bedroom should be a bedroom. It should be a sleeping place. Once you get into your bedroom, you should be ready to go to bed.
Not where you retire to watch movies.
Yes, you're trying to watch movies and this is no.
So let's go back to the therapeutic effects now of especially the infrared, the red light, right?
That's right.
I'm interested in knowing those ailments that could easily be, that such lights could easily be deployed to treat.
Yeah, because we talk about ailment, let's look at the big picture. We're saying that there is what we call my illumination. It's a term I need to explain. My illumination means you are being exposed either to the wrong type of light at the wrong time, or you are not being exposed to the right type of light in sufficient amount. Take, for example, the UV light from the sun. That is how our body uses that light to manufacture vitamin D. If you are not having adequate amount of UV light by virtue of your lifestyle, you are always in the car, to the office, air condition, you are depriving yourself of UV light that will manufacture the adequate amount of vitamin D that your body needs. Yes.
Deploy light.
Yes. Okay. The number one thing that red light therapy does, it activates the body's mitochondria to produce energy. And energy is the basis of life. Our cells need energy in form of ATP to function. It is when the environment is toxic, there is energy deficient, and that's how disease comes in. So the red light is also what we call it. It ensures brain optimization, because naturally it has also been shown that we use only 10% of our potential of the brain. So the 90% is really dead. So red light therapy activates and increases that potential for you. Then skin disease conditions, as I've already said, red light will go in and mobilize the white blood cells, and then it will start healing the skin through a process known as phagocytosis. Then red light is also very important because it stimulates our mood. People that suffer from depression, you will see that most of them is because they have not exposed themselves to the right amount of light, and that's why there is a term called mal illumination. You are not getting the right, light, or you are getting the wrong, source of, light. So this is to say most diseases, hypertension, diabetes, immunocompromisation, then you're looking at cardiovascular diseases, are all linked to this light indirectly in one way.
How do we get to help ourselves by way of detoxification now? What are those simplest things we do as people, for instance, who tend to get exposed to such lights? I'm aware they said grounding, that's earthing.
Yeah.
So I've heard experts talk about that. Maybe you could just shed light on what we should do.
Grounding is the gravity forces. Gravity is a force.
So that when we get overexposed to such lights, we could still help ourselves.
Yeah, you can say,
So
but
how do we do that?
Grounding just simply means walking barefooted on the sand. Because our body is charged negatively. You have so many negative charges, and then you have the positive charges that actually are coming from the ground. They come into the body and neutralize, the negative charges. So grounding is really very important. If you can do that 3 to 4 times in a week, just walk barefooted behind your yard, or barefooted, you are really treating yourself.
With ties around, or just
most probably not question, or probably a most effective way is to let it be bare ground, the bare ground. Although hybrid is really better than none. If you don't have bare ground, if you can, you can walk on ties. But the real one, and this is why guys go to beaches where there is sand. They walk on the beaches.
What about grasses?
What?
Like gardens, grasses?
Garden is all right, but again, the gardens are, to the best of my knowledge, the green plants are not powerfully possessed with those, charges that will go in to neutralize, the positive
So
charges.
is the sandy?
Yeah, sandy, bare
sandy,
ground, yeah. That's why it is called grounding.
When you ground, what happens to you? Do you get detoxified? There's a lot of electromagnetic waves, rays, radiation all over. When you ground, just after such exposure, what does it do to your body? What exactly does it do?
Well, when you do ground, I said that our bodies are charged with negative charges. The grounding comes positive charges. Then they go into neutralize. So it's a form of detoxification.
Okay.
Some of these things that we used to fly out to go and do them, we have them right in the country now. Red light, that for wound healing, fantastic. Then we talk about undermed, which is very good for repair of injuries and things like this. So we have undermed. And there are other integrative medicine centers coming up in Abuja now, and then all over the country, although not at that rate that we should expect, but it is gradually coming in. You have integrative medicine centers, because these are things that you can only find in integrative medicine centers. Our prayer is that, by and large, as things move on, conventional aspect of medicine should also incorporate them, because they have been used for over decades, and they've not been shown to have any side effect or toxic effect.
You just touch on the anti-aging aspect of it, of phototherapy.
Anti-aging aspect, you see, all about aging is how our skin actually wrinkles. So phototherapy, as I told you, it penetrates, the skin, is go there and activate, the cell, production of ATP, the cell membrane starts reactivating and rejuvenating, so you look younger. That is all about anti-aging. But we don't do some of these protocols alone. You have to do, if I'm doing anti-aging, for my patient, you must include good detoxification. If nobody would take their own gold and throw it in a trash can, so you have to clean the body very well. Then I have to give the body the right nutrients that it needs to do the metabolic, activities. So there is the need for intravenous, infusions. Then there is what we call cell membrane optimization or stabilization. That is why you use things like omega-3 that is in charge of the cell membrane, so that the cell membrane gets feeds properly and you start radiating. And I can take you 15 years back younger.
Thank you so much. It's been an interesting topic, I must say, Dr. Abide. It's a pleasure having you, enlighten viewers on this medical intervention known as integrative medical intervention known as phototherapy. Thank you so much for
also known as heliotherapy.
Heliotherapy.
Yes, also known as photodiamidulation.
Thank you so much for
Yes.
coming on the program.
Now, what could make someone set out on a journey and not get to his or her destination?
Extremely important.
Imagine a victim who cannot reach out to these responders, who doesn't even have the phone to reach out. Hello, thank you very much for joining us on platform. I'm Ruth Aguela.
And a girl, especially if the girl is a minor, she's not yet 18 years, if she gets pregnant, realize that church girl is sent out of school and the boy is left in school.
Just park to pick the call.
So how much sensitization is the FRS?
I don't agree. A lot of people are just defiant.
That's our package for this week. A quick reminder that you can go to our YouTube channel to watch the upload of these and other episodes of the program. Email us for your comments and contributions at healthoptions@nta.gov.ng. I remain yours, Rabi Abdullah. Many thanks for watching. Hope to see you again.